I hope that everybody come, everybody can know some foreign person, because it helps if you have friend, another father, and know that people are the same all around the world. If you talk with somebody, you notice that.
I think also that's what I always wish, if everybody was blind, nobody would have noticed the color.
Yeah.
Color's blind.
Yeah. Nobody would notice. People can speak different language,
Yeah.
but nobody see each other. So
Yeah.
nobody would know if I am black or white.
Exactly.
If we were blind.
Yeah.
So that must have helped a lot in this world.
Yeah, that's true. Because, for example, when these white people come to our countries, we don't take them like, who are you, what are you? We are always happy. Mzungu. We are happy to see white person and welcome, and we want them even to learn more from us. We want them to learn even our languages.
And our culture.
We want culture. We want them to taste our food. We welcome them. We have that welcoming heart. But now we come here and then they are like.
What about you? Have you faced anything?
I've been here for 7 months, 8 months actually, and I've not been facing so much. I can't complain that I've been facing any racism, and I hope not to meet anything, because I've not been applying for any job yet. I'm staying at home, I'm a mother, so.
Yeah. And Silpa, what do you think about this racist?
I lost my job because of racism, because of age.
Age.
I had been over 20 years, and then I lost job.
They distance themselves. Then you are like, by the way, before I came here, I didn't even know that
Yes.
I will ever find something like that. Because when they come there, I've been working in a hotel, I've been receiving from different countries. So I was like, everything was okay. But when I reached here and I start seeing, and I'm like, so this is the thing.
Yeah, my daughter also didn't know what black and white.
Yeah.
So when she came here, she was like 7 years. She didn't know she's black at all. She think everybody is the same, because we were walking, like when we go for a walk or shops. Yes, she sees somebody say hello, hello. Nobody say hi. And she asked me, ma'am, why nobody saying back to me? What is wrong with me? I said, no, I thought the Finnish people are a little bit quiet.
Even though, like, at the end of the day, I might sound Finnish on the phone, but I don't look like it. So you kind of get used to it, and you learn how to work things like that, and it's gotten better, of course. When I was a kid, I think the last racism I ever saw was like somewhere in elementary school, I think. The teachers, they had the same problems with, they weren't used to, black kids and stuff like that, so they had a kind of an attitude that we were all bad, and we should be, kind of restricted from the other kids, and it was really weird, and, they kind of put us down a lot. So that kind of gives you a more motivation to do things, and to avoid situations, basically, that you could be in a racist situation. So that kind of, the whole situation with Finland trying to be integrated and all that, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Full integration is not going to happen as long as people think that racism exists. Because racism exists both ways at the end of the day, right? Because if I live here all my life and there's kids born here every day, right, who are different ethnic groups and all that, but we're still discriminated. So obviously we're gonna feel like outsiders at the end of the day, right? So, you get my drift. Yeah. So as long as there's outsiders, there's not going to be a united nation, so-called.
A Finnish person can have any kind of name, any kind of skin color or religion, so it should be more inclusive instead of looking at the differences. Like,
I also think that if you move to Finland and if you don't want to have the racism towards you, then you have to just do something about it also. That you try your best to find the job, to learn the language. It's same in every country, I think, that you wouldn't get the discrimination.
Many countries, like in Eastern Europe, it's even worse. And you can call it cultural racism. I think it's the people who advocate it, they pay a lot of attention to religion, of course. And even though they use statistics, even some kind of scientific argumentation, but still I would say it's the same shit in different package. It is fear-mongering, which is part of racism, the classical racism, but it's more, they are just paying more attention to culture and religion and try to label these cultures are rotten, this religion is dangerous, things like that. So even though the rhetoric is a little bit different from classical racism, I think it's basically the same thing.
What do you guys, you're young guys, I mean, have you ever felt any kind of form of racism in your life when you're in Finland, whether it's school, work, hunting work places, or social gathering areas, anything you have experienced?
Maybe in the social life sometimes it happens, but sometimes you just have to ignore and continue doing your own things, because if you are going to look for these small incidents, then you will find yourself stuck.
Absolutely.
Somewhere you don't live your normal life. So you understand that, okay, racism exists and people do it.
How would I put it? There is many different types of racism. There is racism at the airport, made the news. There's racism in getting houses to this day. However, compared to the beginning of the 90s when they had the same test, and with a Russian, Somali, and a Finn, the results were very different. Now they're a lot better, but funny enough, there's still a difference. So, over 20 years down the line, you know what I'm saying, it's only been 20 years. I think it's taking big steps, and it's going to take maybe another, always takes a generation or two before people kind of start to acknowledge you in a different kind of way.
They are usually located in very remote places, small villages and small towns, because the refugee reception centers are all over the country. There are just few in the capital area, and most of them are in the, you could say, in the forest all over Finland. And in these, of course, these small villages and small places, there may be people maybe not so used to even seeing dark-skinned people, and there may be some local resistance against receiving asylum seekers in the city. So I think fortunately these cases of violence against asylum seekers are rare, but I think all dark-skinned people in Finland are in risk of encountering some kind of street-level racism at some point. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens at some point to a lot of people, I think. And especially young people who are most active and they move around a lot, they are in risk of that. And they often, there are even some researches that have data about this happening quite a lot, that young people, they get verbally abused in buses or trams, local trains, or in the street. And usually it happens like maybe the attacker is drunk or under the influence of something, and there are people around, there are witnesses, but they don't do anything. That's very common, that the people who see this thing happening, they don't intervene. And that's a very sad message to especially children, because then they think that, okay, nobody cares, nobody's doing anything. So I think everybody should, if you see something like that happening, you should at least do something. It doesn't have to be so much, at least just say that that is wrong, stop it, or something like that. So you give the message to the target or to the victim that we actually care. We don't think it's normal behavior to shout or insult people in the streets.
Every country in the world has racism. It's just different kinds of racism that different people face. When coming to Finland, it was racism for us being different and already having troubles, and then taking in more people. There's prejudice in every culture. It's not something that it doesn't go away like a cold after a few years or so. It's a continuous process that people have to acknowledge that, hey, you got to work with it, and that's it.